Well, you know, there's nothing else that's going to get people more excited about things going on in houses on a day like today than swimming pools.
Swimming pools. Boy, that's going to be a fun topic.
No kidding.
Whose idea was this, my God?
Jim Estrada is back with us from Property Inspector LLC. Has been inspecting homes for almost 10 years, and I'll tell you, I personally know people who he has really kept from buying a money pit and making sure they make good decisions. And, well, although we're not going to talk so much about the structures of houses, definitely going to hit on something that's fun for today when I think it's like 85 degrees outside, according to my car. Swimming pools, Jim.
We are going to talk about some swimming pools. There's no question about it. And I want you to keep in mind that when we're talking about pools, we're also talking about lakes and rivers and those kinds of things, too, because we're going to talk about some of the fun stuff. And Ben was talking about goals in terms of having pools. And there's a lot of different types of pools, and they range in all kinds of different prices. You can have the kiddie pool. Okay, you can.
I can afford one of those.
Well, and you probably have one, or will have one this summer.
That's
would
right.
be my bet. How old is your son?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Okay, now biggest keys to having a successful swimming pool. Every child needs to be able to swim. Okay, and we're going to come back to that kind of topic a little bit. We'll just talk about pools just a little bit in general. We've got above ground pools, of course. That's going to be your most reasonable thing. You could probably get into a nice one for something between $3,000 and $5,000.
Kind of ruin your lawn.
Removable. Okay. You put in the fiberglass pool, and gosh, you know, I was just talking with a buddy of mine that installs pools, and it seems like just yesterday that you could have a nice fiberglass pool dropped into your backyard for about $15,000, $16,000, and that's kind of more in the 30. You probably have never seen one, but that I used to swim in when I was a kid, where they actually poured the wood forms and had the big concrete and stuff. And now we use gunite, which is almost like concrete, feels like concrete if anybody's hit their head in the pool. But that's where they come in and actually spray the texturing into a wire mesh so it goes in a lot faster. Those pools are a lot of fun, but they are going to start really at about 40 minimum. Okay, 40 to 80 grand for a pool, but it will change your life in terms of your lifestyle at home.
It is an amazing setting to sit around. You know, just anything with water. You know, you talk about lakes or pools or anything, a river, and just having water around really does make a difference.
It really makes a difference. Water is just so soothing. The reflection from the light of the pool coming into the house, the ability
to
you can drink it. Well, we're going to talk about that little kiddie pool and drinking that water here pretty soon, so be careful, okay? When we talk about pools, we do want to talk about keeping them clean. Couple of basic things. There are sand filters out there, and then there are also paper cartridges filters. Those are what typically most people use. Both of them are things that you either take the filter out and wash it. The sand filter, you actually turn the system around backwards and hook up a hose and backwash the filter to clean out the system. And those both work pretty darn good. There are some new things in the market that allow you to do it a little bit more green, doing it with ozone. You can do things with salt. Salt will tend to actually clean the pool.
Saltwater pools.
Yes, saltwater pools. You can do it with plants. Plants will actually keep water clean and stuff too. But the time-tested system.
Plants in your pool?
Yeah. Haven't you ever been to Hawaii where the plants are kind of growing into the pools and stuff? And they keep the koi in there and stuff, and the water's nice and clean. That still works for people too.
All right.
Supposedly, I've never had one.
I have never been to anybody's house where the plants are the filtration system. But I'll trust you on it.
I'm gonna like.
Nor do I see people who have koi in their pools.
I'm going to like the time-tested systems, okay, that pretty much the chlorine is what I like to see. But you got to be a little bit careful of all the chemicals, okay? Chemicals, you can get a burn from it if it's overdosed in the water. The chlorine gases that come off of it when you're putting the chemicals into the pool, you got to be careful of because that can get to you. And then you always got to think about kids, okay? Pool chemicals need to be stored in a locked area, out of the reach from children, okay? And they also should not be stored in the same place where the furnace is, where we have gas flames, because we got flammable gases. People drop their containers once in a while, and all of a sudden we've got massive explosions. So there's a lot of areas to be concerned about with chemicals.
Well, it sounds like safety. Again, we're here with Jim Estrada, owner and lead inspector with Property Inspector LLC. But it sounds to me like a lot of what you're saying is there's a lot of different types of pools. There's a lot of different ways to clean them. But you really end up with a lot of safety, not just with kids around the water, but how you take care of your pool.
Well, safety, and that's, being a home inspector, I look at things in terms of what's wrong, what's nice, but most importantly, my whole priority in my inspections is safety, safety, safety. And so that's why I was talking with you about if your son has learned how to swim yet, okay? If you have a pool, if you go to the lake, if you go to the river, you as an adult are a 24-hour-a-day lifeguard. Okay, until you're away from that water. You just got to take on that responsibility. You need to have CPR education so you can handle those kinds of situations. Some of the facts I just was hearing this morning, actually on the Today Show, I thought it was quite a coincidence that we were going to be talking about it in the Today Show. They're just kind of I know, they're copying me. What a deal.
They called and asked what a good topic would be.
Well, that's what I thought. So anyway, Matt Lauer was talking about how there are 390 deaths per year average of small children, okay? It is the number one cause of death for children under the age of 5. 5,200 on average end up in the ER from some kind of drowning accident, okay? And they might not drown, but they can certainly have some repercussions, a lot of damages and brain damages and stuff too. So this is a really, really important topic.
Yeah. You also talked about with safety. I mean, there's some element of just keeping the kids away from the water. Are there fence requirements?
There are huge fence requirements. Some in this state are not as heavy as they are in California. Imagine that. But in Washington, my understanding is a 5-foot fence. Okay. In California,
if you have a pool, a personal pool.
If you have a pool. Okay. And it's got to be around the entire pool area, okay? In California, it's 6 feet, and their pools actually have to be within 5 feet of the pool, okay? Ours don't have to be that, but they do have to have self-closing gates. They have to have auto latching gates. All of your sliding doors and windows going out to a pool area should have alarms on them, okay? They also make floating alarms now, so if a kid or someone jumps into the pool, that it actually will send off the alarm in the house, okay? They make wristbands now that are little watches. They're great items for little kids, and you just strap them on there because the kids can be out there. They can be out there with a floaty, swimming along just fine, and somebody bumps into them or whatever. They slip off. And if they can't hang on to that floaty, they're down at the bottom of the pool. It doesn't take long.
I sure hope parents are watching their young kids in the pool, though, regardless of the wristbands and stuff. But great for accidents.
I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah.
Well, they say that a young child should not be more than an arm's length away when you're near water. Okay? And those are kind of real areas. There are some other big significant areas besides that.
Yeah.
Okay?
We just have about a minute before we have to go to break. So what are some of the biggest things that you think are most important items then when it comes to the pool safety?
Disease. Don't go into a pool if you're sick. Don't go into a pool if you got a wound. Please don't put kids in pools with diapers. Okay?
Yeah.
Without the swim diapers.
Exactly. Pets really shouldn't be in pools either if you're going to be swimming. So there's just a lot of areas there. The alarms and think about a pool when you walk up to a pool. Are there ladders on both sides? Are the pools marked with the depths for diving? Okay, you need to have at least 8 feet for safe diving. And I'm amazed how many pools I go to that don't have the numbers on the sides of the pools, but they really should be there.
Well, Jim, certainly good information for a lot of people who are probably out there right now considering taking a dip.
And we should be going there soon.
Hey, I'm on it.
All right, Ben.
I'm on it.
After you get that alarm.
After I probably should get a wristband for myself in case I fall in.
Good plan.
Jim, again, thanks for joining us. Jim Estrada, owner, president, lead inspector for Property Inspector, LLC. When we come back, joining us again, I call him the builder with the movie star name. Charlie Carter is going to join us from Homebridge Builders. My name is Ben Brashen. You're listening to Brashenomics.